You can get bioavailable protein from plants. It's not as good as the protein that you get from meat. It's just not. Can it sustain you? Yes, it can. Can you be a healthy person and live a fucking balanced life on a completely vegetarian diet? 100%. But I would always recommend eat free-range eggs. You're not hurting a chicken. Nothing gets hurt. It is free food. I have chickens. They roam around. They eat vegetables. Nobody eats them. The chickens live a fucking healthy life. They lay eggs. We eat the eggs. The eggs are healthy as fuck. Eat those. Find a place that has free-range chickens. Eat the eggs.
Eggs from rescued chickens that live like in someone's backyard and they're well cared for. They're treated like you would treat a dog or a cat, right? I think a really good example would be, again, a backyard hen. You know, having a hen who produces unfertilized eggs and then consuming those eggs, assuming the hen is well cared for and loved and all of that kind of stuff. What would be the harm? Do we really think that if a chicken could care, that she would care about us consuming her period?
I've had like a dream where I want to have chickens when I have like my own house one day with like family. I want to have chickens and I want to eat their eggs.
I'm not into animal suffering. I don't think they should suffer. But if you try to say that people are not herbivores, or that people are herbivores, rather, and that we're not omnivores, you're crazy. It's just not true. It's not fact. And they show picture. These are not the teeth of a carnivore. These are the teeth. We're not carnivores, stupid. We're omnivores.
They show you the intestines and everything.
Yeah, we look real similar in our teeth to fucking chimps. Chimps are omnivores. And the human diet is a very complex thing. When you attach that human diet to ideology, then it gets really screwy because you're not dealing with people that are being honest about dietary, like what is really important and as far as dietary requirements, how your body functions, what the studies show.
I wanted to start this video outside over here because it's nice and sunny. I was thinking about how I was vegan for 18 months, and it was a long 18 months, and the biggest thing that happened to me was that I developed some serious health problems. It made my life miserable, and that's what I want to talk to you guys about today, is the eating disorders that so many people have because of what they think is healthy and unhealthy. And it wasn't so much that I suffered physically, I did, but I also suffered mentally. Even my mother, she said, hey, you know, you're running into some health issues. Maybe the vegan diet isn't the best diet for you. And what's funny is that she is vegan.
If you look at it objectively, the first thing anybody should say, first thing, across the board, get rid of all the fucking sugar. That's number one. Yeah. Get rid of all the refined carbohydrates. Eat more vegetables. I think, you guys don't. Eat more vegetables. Eat healthy fats. Get some form of omega fatty acids. Recognize that the omega fatty acids that you get from flaxseed oil are not as bioavailable. It's fact from studies. Not as bioavailable as the omega fatty acids you get from fish and meat. Yeah. They're just not. The meat, the protein. You say, well, broccoli has 15 grams of protein. It's not as bioavailable, you fucks, and you know it's not. It's just not. Yeah, yeah. So you can get bioavailable protein from plants. You get it from hemp. You get it from quinoa. You get it from peas. Pea protein's very good. But it's not as good as the protein that you get from meat. It's just not.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Emily. Welcome back to my channel, and I'm no longer a vegan. I was just feeling awful, and I'm like, this is not the way that I can live anymore. I have to stop, and I gotta reevaluate, and I gotta love myself. And then I thought, I think that I need to eat some meat. So over the weekend, I delved into eating some salmon and fish and eggs. I feel so good. I want to cry. Here's some of the symptoms I was experiencing for the past couple of months. I was extremely bloated. Every second of the day, my stomach would swell, and I felt sick. I had indigestion. My acne has gotten way worse. My nails started sucking. My toenails fell off. I was experiencing hair loss, which really sucked because I have super fine hair in the first place. I started gaining weight even though I was working out more than I ever have before. And probably the worst out of all of this was the fact that I couldn't control my eating, and I was just on a binge every night.
What were you saying before the podcast started? We were going to bring it up again about veganism coming from a religion.
Yeah, veganism started with the Seventh Adventist Church, I believe. And so these people that were in this church were like the first real group of vegans. The Church of Seventh Adventist, I think, is what it's called, is where it came from. Like 1863 is when that like movement, I guess, started. I'm sure it started early. I'm sure people were doing it earlier than that, obviously, but I think that that's where the roots came in. And I just find that really interesting because it does seem like a religion. It seems like it seems like a lot of times you get. I get called out a lot on Instagram and stuff like that from people that are vegan saying, like, I can't believe you do this and blah, blah. But I would never go on their page and say anything to them at all.
Well, they're proselytizing. I mean, that's a big part of this whole community. There's a moral high ground. They stand on it. And then a lot of these people, especially people with vegan in their name and their screen name, they always go after people.
Yeah.
And they try to shame people. And
vegans are slightly absolutely crazy. Like, you don't realise it until you go and be friends with sort of people on Facebook who are just general vegans who do activism and stuff. That they are that crazy. And it kind of really hurts me because in a way I feel like they are causing people not to be vegan because they are the kind of crazy people that you see on the internet that meat eaters and vegetarians would just be like, whoa, I don't want to be vegan because they are crazy. But basically, I've been told multiple times by people on the internet that I'm not vegan. And it has come to that point now where I've just decided, you know what? No, I'm not vegan. I just want to completely disconnect myself from the world of vegans because they're all freaking crazy. Not all of us. Not everyone. Some people are really nice, but a lot of people are just absolutely crazy.
What they're doing is, in many ways, is a very good thing. They're not participating in factory farming, right? They're not participating in the horrors that we see in these fucking PETA videos where you see cows and pigs and chickens that are just being tortured. All that is disgusting. And that should be eliminated and shouldn't be a part of modern culture. But in terms of like the humane raising and killing of animals, look, they're not going to live forever. And I don't care what you say.
I don't think that killing an animal is wrong. I don't think that death is wrong. I think that death is just as natural as life. So I have many times contemplated going out and going fishing and catching my own fish, or I don't think I could ever go hunting. I don't think I could bring myself to do that. Even fishing, like, I don't think I could bring myself to be the one who actually does the killing, just personally. But I know plenty of people that go hunting and they bring food back, or go fishing. I have so many guy friends that go fishing all the time and bring food back. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I don't think me eating that food, there'd be anything wrong with it.
If you want to get rid of dairy and you don't want, I get it, man. I've seen dairy farms. It's fucked up. You see what they're doing to cows, and they the way they treat them and the way they raise them, and just the whole idea behind it, like making them lactate. The only time cows lactate is when they have a baby, right? So they keep them in this state, and it's unnatural, and that is a reality of dairy production. And if you don't want to be a part of that, that's 100% noble.
It's the same position that I hold on drinking cow's milk. If it can be guaranteed that the animals do not suffer as a result of you doing that, then I have no problem with it. We use animals and people for companionship, for support, emotional support, financial support. We don't consider these practices exploitative or abusive. So you have like a sheep as a pet, and you shear it, and you wear its waste. Again, we're talking about essentially a waste product, something that would go to waste if it were not used. Again, if assuming that the sheep, that the animal is well cared for and loved and all of that, and not harmed, what is the harm? What is wrong with that situation?
It's morally unjustifiable to unnecessarily take advantage of an animal merely for the resources that it can provide. There is a reason why the word milk is synonymous with the word exploitation. Whether a cow can conceptualize exploitation or not is besides the point. The fact that we can recognize such acts as immoral, therefore means we have a moral responsibility to not commit such acts.
We have to be honest about nutrition requirements, not about the ideology of veganism. And this is the problem with these people. And so many of them, especially the ones with vegan attached to their identity, because they use the name, like I'm vegan warrior, this is vegan prince, I'm the vegan defender. They're fucking morons who joined a gang.
That is why I am no longer vegan, and I do not want to be associated with it. I think it's gross. I just, ugh, no. They are a bunch of crazy psycho people. No, not all vegans. Some vegans are absolutely lovely, but like, this is the problem. The majority of people that I've added have turned out to be crazy. And I got told, this is something that someone put as a status, you cannot be vegan if you vote Tory. Like, you can't. And I thought, this is stupid. Of course you can be vegan and vote Tory. Like, that's just, you know, that's your political views. They shouldn't be, even though they are sort of a part of it, they shouldn't just be instantly put on you like, oh, you vote Tory, you're no longer vegan. Like, I broke down, literally broke down and cried because I was just like, I have been trying so hard to be a good person and give up animal products and do all this stuff, and it's a hard journey. I mean, I know vegans always say, oh, it's super duper easy to go vegan, but it's not always super duper easy, you know. It takes a lot of concentration and a lot of preparing, and you know, it takes a lot. And then to be shut down by a group of people saying you are 100% not vegan is just kind of like, oh, thanks, you know, all my efforts that I put in, well, they're not wasted, but my whole point is that there are some people who want to be part of this vegan community because it seems like a lovely community of people, but unfortunately, it isn't.
And what they do is they start eating plants, they start talking shit, and they go looking to just go after anybody who's not on the same page as them. And a lot of these people, they give up. A lot of these people, they get to a point where their health can't take it anymore, and they fucking give up. There's some people that own that restaurant in California, in Hollywood. What is it called? Something Cafe?
Gratitude.
Thank you. Cafe Gratitude?
Yeah, I know about that place, yeah.
Yeah, these people were, I mean, their fucking health was falling apart. So they decided to raise their own cattle and eat their own meat. And vegans found out they got death threats and people were fucking going after them. Yes, man. It was a terrifying thing for these people. They're older folks, and they have their own farm, and they were raising their own farm animals, and they decided to start eating them. And when they made these posts about starting eating, these people went after them, man. You know, this is not kindness, and, you know, this is not someone who's compassionate. These are fucking cunts that are in a gang, and that they're in the plant gang.
À-bas-le-ciel.